Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing the Intimidating TBR Book Tag Challenge. I've seen this tab going around BookTube kind of like a wildfire. I've seen so many people doing this in the last few weeks that I thought, hey, I kind of want to do that. That seems like fun. And so I wasn't tagged by anyone, and I will link the creator's video down below. You should definitely go check it out because she created it and it's a really fun, cool idea. So if you haven't seen one of these tag videos before, which I highly doubt, basically there's some series of questions that sort of deal with books that are on your TBR or your to be read pile and sort of reasons why you haven't read those books yet. So yeah, I thought this would be fun, so let's just get started with the tag video. Gotta get my questions. Stupid light, give me light. Okay. I apologize if the lighting changes, my camera is acting up and it's not doing what I want it to do. So we're just gonna go with it. So the first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? So in my entire reading career, I have only managed to not finish one book. And that book is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wayne. I didn't finish this book, and that is a huge feat for me because I normally just push through and I read books even if I dislike them, and this one I just couldn't take. And I know that's pretty controversial. I know lots of people love this book, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Maybe it was around the time that I was reading it or something. I just remember being really bored and not liking it. If you don't know, Codename Verity is set in World War II, and it follows pilots, I remember, in Nazi-occupied France, I think. And the main girl, whose name is Verity, I'm sorry if I say any of this wrong, the main girl's name is Verity, and she has been captured by the British police, and she's being interrogated, and she basically tells her and her best friend's life, but it deals with a lot of aviator stuff, and I wasn't interested in it. And so, yeah, I never ended up finishing this. I might give it another go, but probably not. It wasn't my cup of tea. I normally love World War II stuff, but this one didn't do it for me. Next question is, what book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? And that I'm going to go with Dracula by Bram Stoker. Right. So the story behind this is that this is obviously a classic.
And my lighting just died. Okay, let's try to fix that. That's better.
The story behind this one is obviously it's a classic, and I'm going to want to take notes and really immerse myself in this book, and I just haven't had the time for that, honestly. I've been really busy with school and with classics that I have to read for school, and this one's just one that I'm going to read for pleasure. Plus it's like, you know, a good size, you know, it's a good size. So I just haven't had the time to sit down and read it, and I also haven't really been in the mood for it, but I will probably read it this summer. I'm really sorry about the lighting. It's a sad thing. Next question is, what book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? And for that, I'm going with Air Fire by Sarah J. Maas. And there's a story to this. Obviously, there's always an excuse, right? So I picked up Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight and The Assassin's Blade all back to back. I met Sarah, and she was just a lovely person, and I loved Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. It was fantastic. I loved it. And so the reason is because this is a sequel, and I wanted to pace myself because I knew if I read Air Fire and Queen of Shadows that I would be very sad and I would feel empty because there wasn't another book out, which looking back was kind of not a smart move, but I decided to go with that as my excuse. So I haven't read this or Queen of Shadows yet, and mostly because I just want to pace myself. I don't want to read them, and plus now the hype has kind of died down for the Throne of Glass series, and I sort of forgot what happened in the previous books, so I can't just like jump right into this one. So I'll read it, don't worry, because Throne of Glass is amazing. I just have to be in the right, commitment time for it to happen. The next question is, you have yet to pick up because it's brand new, and I'm going to go with Lady Renegades by Rachel Hawkins. Literally, I got this in the mail yesterday, so I couldn't have read it yet. This is the third and final final book in the Rebel Belle trilogy by Rachel Hawkins, and I loved Rebel Belle. I liked Miss Mayhem, which is the second book. It wasn't fantastic. It was really short, and I have like a whole rant to go on about how short this is. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to judge it yet, but it's kind of ridiculous that it's this tiny, and the second book was this tiny. The second book was even larger than this one, and that has also happened with Yellow Brick War by Danielle Page, the third book in the Dorothy Must Die series. I don't know what has been going on, but I was expecting, like, you know, big final books, and we get like less than, how many even pages are there? Like 260 pages for a final book. That's kind of sad, but I haven't read it yet. It might be amazing. I just haven't had the time to do it yet. And I will, because I'm hoping it will be good. And I think I was spoiled on what happens in this book, but we'll see. I'm just kind of guessing what the questions are at this point, so if I screw up a question, the wording of it, I apologize. The next question is, what book have you yet to pick up because you read a book by the same author and you really didn't like it? And for that, I'm going with I Crawl Through It by A.S. King. If you guys have watched my most disappointing books of 2015, you'll know this story, but if not, I'll retell it. I read Ask the Passengers by A.S. King. It was one of my least favorite books that I read last year. I really didn't like it. And I also read the Gloria O'Brien book. Oh, what's it called? Brian's History of the Future by A.S. King, and I did not really enjoy that very much either. I think one of the reasons I've come to know why I don't like A.S. King is because I really don't enjoy magical realism. That's just who I am. I'm sorry. But I actually went to a signing event for her because I was interested in this book, and she was a lovely woman, and I will certainly give this book a chance because I loved meeting her. And if you guys want proof, I have the little signature. She says, "Keep believing." I actually forget what the question is for this one, so we'll look it up. What book have you yet to pick up because you are just not in the mood for it? And for that, I'm going to go with Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer, the Twilight reimagined story, which was getting all the hype when it came out. And I went to Target at like 11 o'clock at night, and I picked it up, and I never read it because that was in my Twilight phase when I first read Twilight, because I just recently read Twilight. I know. I was all hyped, and I told myself, you know what? I'm going to read Twilight again, and then I'm going to read Life and Death, because I don't know another way that you could do it. And so since I wasn't in the mood to read Twilight again, I never ended up reading Life and Death. And I've heard mixed things from people. I actually haven't really heard lots from people, talking about this kind of, but they weren't like freaking out over it. If you don't know, Twilight Reimagined Life and Death is basically the genders are swapped for all the main characters of Twilight. As in, Edward the vampire is actually a girl, and Bella the human is actually a boy, and it's all the other characters are switched as well. And so I was excited. I'm not in the mood for it right now. I don't know if I will ever be in the mood for it, to be honest. The next one is, what book have you yet to pick up because it's humongous? And that is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is a huge book. And that's not the only reason why I haven't picked this up. If you guys don't know, this is the third and final book in the Mistborn trilogy, and the Mistborn trilogy is my favorite trilogy of the all times. I love Mistborn, and I don't want to say goodbye to these characters at all, so I'm putting it off. I'm going to live in denial for a little bit until I am emotionally ready to embark on this journey. And plus, it's huge, and I don't have time to read all that, so I'll probably wait until the summer to do this. But I mean, it's a good, what even is this? A good, 730 pages. That's a pretty big book, especially when the font is microscopic. But if you haven't read Mistborn yet, please read it because it's amazing. It's high fantasy, and it's about metals, and these people who can consume metals and do freaking kick-ass superpowers, and I love this series so much. So read it if you haven't. If you need any encouragement, take it from me. This series is amazing. I forgot about this one. This is What Book Have You Yet to Read, because it was a cover buy and it ended up having not good reviews. I don't have one for this. I normally don't pick up books unless I've heard good reviews about them, and so I don't really have one. I'm sorry. Final question is, what is the most intimidating book on your TBR pile? And that would definitely have to be Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which I'm reading right now. If you can tell, I'm almost halfway through, and there's a story. Calm down. I've read this book before, don't worry. I have read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix before, and I did not like it. Now, I did not like it because I was in the 5th grade, and I picked this book up because it was 800 pages, and when you are in 5th grade and you read an 800-page book, it's impressive. You know, so I picked this up and I read it and I was really bored, and I just remember not very good feelings for this book, and this is when I stopped reading Harry Potter. True confession time, I haven't read the 6th and 7th Harry Potter book, which is the main reason why I have been rereading the Harry Potter books, so that I can finally read the 6th and 7th book, because I haven't yet, and that's terrible. That's absolutely awful that I haven't read those books yet. Anyway, so I read this book, I finished it, and I just thought it was boring, my little 5th grade mind. I didn't like all the politics, and I really hated Umbridge, and I thought Harry was annoying as hell. I'm so happy to say that I am finally reading this again, because I forgot how much happens, how much goes down in this book. And I'm just loving every second of it, honestly. I love it. It's definitely polar opposites of how I was feeling the first time I was reading it. I love everything that's happening in this book. I mean, besides Umbridge, because Umbridge is still annoying as hell. But I kind of like it, you know, you understand. So this was definitely my most intimidating, just because I just didn't want me not to like it and then me not to want to continue on with the series. And I know this is a lot of people's least favorite Harry Potter book, and I understand why. I mean, look at that. That's like a huge book. And so, but I'm loving it, and I want to go read some more of it, because Harry Potter. Can I just go on a mini rant? I probably won't even include this in the video, but a mini rant about Harry Potter. I am loving Harry Potter way more the second time around than the first time around, because like I said, it was in the 4th and the 5th grade when you saw the Harry Potter books and you were like, you know what, I'm going to be cool and I'm going to read those Harry Potter books. And I'm going to like put my little name on the board, because at my school you had like this board to where like all the books you were reading, you would like put your name and then the page numbers. And so I was like, you know what, I got like 830 pages in my book. Beat that. And no one could. And so that was a really bad way to go about things, if you want the truth. Well, I'm definitely loving it the second time around way more, because I'm just in the hype. I'm just in the hype so much. So that was a mini rant, which I probably won't include in the video, but if I do, you're welcome. And the 10th question is, who do you tag? I have no one in mind, so anyone who's watching this and wants to do this tag, please do this tag, because it was actually really fun. And it has inspired me to sort of pick up some of these books that weren't on my radar before. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe. It will really help me out if you want to see more videos from me. And like this video up, and comment down below anything you want to talk about. Or let's say comment down below your most intimidating book on your TBR shelf, because I would really like to know, honestly. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!